Hi everyone, I'm Margarita Muradova, a personal stylist and fashion consultant from Kyiv, Ukraine, and we're actually live from Kyiv, Ukraine. And in today's video, we're actually going to talk about an amazing topic, which is fashion must-haves for this winter 2022. And let me tell you, this winter is going to be so fashionable because there's so many very cool things happening in fashion this year. And specifically regarding winter items and layering things, that's the reason I'm usually very excited when it comes to autumn and winter, because you have this opportunity to layer, to play with layers, to play with different stuff, as opposed to summer when you're just like dying of heat. You have only one layer and it's one layer too much, you know what I mean. In today's video, we're going to talk about winter must-haves for this season, so for winter 2022. And what I mean by that is that this is not necessarily something you need in your closet, but something to consider, or maybe you've been thinking of, upping your style a little bit. And those things would definitely help you with this style rod, especially for winter, because in winter it definitely can get, like, the cold can definitely get in the way of being as stylish as you want to be, if you know what I mean, because the first thing you think about is being warm. So the last thing you end up thinking about is working those style things. So these are the things that would definitely help you be more stylish, or at least express yourself in your style more this winter. And the first one is leg warmers. I know what you're thinking about. Leg warmers are a crazy comeback from the crazy 2000s as well. And what you can pair these with to not look like you've traveled in time from the 2000s, but to make them look modern and stylish is, for example, with some warm loafers, with some brogues, with some even boots, and then with a midi or a mini skirt. And that the skirt could be also pleated to give some like texture and depth to the look, and with some thick tights. This could be colorful, they could be black, they could be like flesh toned, but specifically your neutral colors toned. So what you want to end up with is this smooth transition from your leg to the leg warmer and then to the shoe. And what you need to consider in this particular instance is that the shoe is just not too crazy and voluminous, so that the leg warmer doesn't end up being just too much in a look, if you know what I mean. So I definitely go for like a medium voluminous shoe. This could be like a platform boot, this could be a loafer, a brogue, but something not too crazy out there, like pink bows, hearts, whatever. And then a neutral toned or maybe colorful leg warmer to add to the look. So this is definitely what this is gonna do. This is definitely going to add some layers to your look. This is going to add this like beautiful transition to your look, especially if you're wearing like a mini skirt and a midi skirt. And specifically when you're wearing a mini skirt can definitely most of the time be just too sexy for people's liking. So what you can do is actually balance it out with some masculine tops and shirts and jumpers, etc., something oversized. And if we're talking about something on the bottom, what you definitely can do is add some leg warmers so that there's not so much leg on the show. Therefore, it's going to like dilute the sexiness of the skirt and make it more like balanced and acceptable for your everyday wear, especially for those who are just trying out those mini skirts trend and are not really sure if that's for them. This is the tip for you. The next thing that is definitely a must-have for this season, for practical reasons, but for style reasons as well, are Shearling lined ballet flats, loafers, and any kind of shoe, but specifically those types of shoes that you can see the Shearling in. So something that's not usually necessarily supposed to have some shearling. So for example, like a Shearling lined ballet flat, Shearling lined loafer, is definitely unexpected in a way. Therefore, it's going to create a bigger statement as opposed to like your boots or your thigh-high boots, whatever, because of the unexpectedness of this shearling. So what you can pair this with is definitely some skirts, jeans, even I would actually even go for like sweatpants to balance it out in terms of styles, because if you pair, for example, like a sweatpants, something very sporty in terms of style, with something very classic like a loafer, even if it's like a shearling line loafer, you're going to create this beautiful balance of styles. And if you feel uncomfortable with the amount of leg on show, like the skin on show during the winter, which is going to be kind of cold, you can also always add up some socks, like thick wool socks, like thin wool socks, whatever. One of the best ones are definitely by Ray, which is an in-house matches fashion brand. And you can scrunch them up a little bit so that this transition from your shoe, Shearling 9 shoe, to your sweatpants is much smoother. But overall, those shoes are definitely a statement with any kind of look and any kind of a bottom. So this could definitely work with your skirts, with your jeans, with your trousers, and you can always cover them up with longer trousers like suit trousers, etc. So whatever you wear, these would definitely work with those. But also Shearling line shoes are specifically good with any kind of a sock popping out of it. This could be a colorful sock, this could be a neutral sock. It always adds this smooth transition to your leg, but also some warmth. So in terms of practicality, it's an amazing thing. And for people who are living in those colder climates, this is one way to add those kind of more autumny, springy shoes still into your winter wardrobe. The next thing is definitely on the top of my list. I absolutely love this trend, and this is a recycled vintage fur. So what this means is there were definitely like some fur coats from the 90s, from the 80s, etc., and those are bought and then repurposed and recycled and kind of resewn in order to make them more like modern in terms of style, in terms of shape, etc. So therefore, what this ends up being is a very conscious decision in terms of getting those warmer layers for winter, because you're not necessarily buying new fur, which is not only unethical but also is just like a waste in terms of like wasting animals' life, etc. But also what you end up doing is being conscious of consuming something that's already being on the market and no one's wearing it, and then it's repurposed and then you wear it again. So therefore, you're not producing or you're not contributing to producing something new and over polluting this already crazy polluted planet. And this is a much better option actually, as opposed to an unreal or vegan fur, because vegan fur actually pollutes our planet even more than real fur in terms of like chemical, etc. pollution. So I would definitely consider this, and I absolutely love vintage fur because it's warm, because it's very elegant, and I love pairing vintage fur with something very modern and also very opposing in terms of style. So for example, vintage fur is definitely like a more classic style, and then I would go for something on the opposite end of the spectrum. I would go for like a sporty look, for example, like jeans and a top, jeans and a long sleeve and sneakers, or sweatpants and a sweatshirt and a vintage fur and then a baseball cap. And this is going to create a very beautiful, balanced, modern look. And you will not look too classy or too classic in terms of style, if you know what I mean, because having all of these crazy, like classy items like a vintage fur and an evening dress, or like a very classy skirt and an office look, could definitely give you too much of this like old-timey look, if you know what I mean. So in order to balance that, you definitely need to add some edge to it. And for example, if you're still into wearing like pants and trousers and you know, t-shirts or blouses or shirts with vintage fur, what I do actually is I would add like a very modern shoe to it. So for example, this could be a loafer, a sneaker, a ballet flat, and not necessarily like a very classy heel steal because it ends up being just too much for my personal taste. The next thing we'll talk about is woolen baseball caps. Those are absolutely amazing in terms of keeping you warm in winter, but also balancing out those classy looks. So those would definitely work with something like an office kind of look. This would definitely work with a puffer, and those combine amazingly. This would definitely work with a coat to balance the classiness of the coat. This would definitely work with vintage fur as a head accessory because of the balance of different styles and the opposing types of those styles. So actually, this is one of the most understated headwear pieces in my opinion, because people think it's just too sporty, but actually, especially if it's like an actual wool or cashmere or whatever, so it's like warm, it ends up being a very beautiful item in your wardrobe because it's so versatile and you can pair it with anything, with my look, with someone's look. You can pair it with a suit, with a pantsuit, with a skirt suit, with a denim look, with a total denim look, with jeans and a t-shirt and a blazer, and this would work amazingly. And I just suggest going for some inspiration in terms of like 90s style, specifically Diana's, Princess Diana's style, and she loved her baseball caps and they looked amazing on her, and she actually loved pairing them with blazers, with something very classy in terms of balancing styles out. So that is definitely something I would do. The next thing is leather pants. In my opinion, this is like one of the best things in your closet that you could wear specifically during the winter because it pairs so beautifully with knits and knitwear overall. This could be paired with like a knit cardigan worn as a top. This could be paired with an oversized jumper. This could be paired with a knit crop top. So anything knitwear is amazing, and also leather is an amazing texture. It's very shiny, it's very smooth. Therefore, it's going to give more depth to your look. It's going to be keeping you warm because leather, especially natural leather, is kind of very warm and it keeps you warm. So it's like thicker than a denim. It's definitely warmer than a denim pant, for example, or like a woolen pant. And what you could go for is something totally different in terms of texture and material to balance those leather things in your look with. So for example, this could be something cottony, so like a jumper or a long sleeve or a t-shirt. This could be something woolen like a blazer. This could be a knit cardigan, a jumper, a knit jumper, a sweater, whatever it is. Those are definitely going to look amazingly with those leather pants. And leather pants always bring some drama to your look, so this is also one thing to consider if you want to add some drama to your look. And the last thing we'll talk about is hiking boots, and specifically like platformed, layered, multicolored platform boots. Look at the Chloe example, for example. Those are absolutely amazing. And once again, in terms of balancing styles out in your look, what you could go for is, for example, those hiking boots and then a very classy skirt or a very classy boot or a very classy dress. And this is going to look beautiful. So for example, imagine like a go-day skirt or a pleated skirt and those shoes, and then a sweater or a blazer or a jumper, and then a coat or a fur coat, whatever it is, and a structured bag. And this is going to look beautiful in terms of style because you balance something or you pair something very classical like a skirt, a pleated skirt for that matter, with something very, very sporty in and of itself like a hiking boot. And this is a beautiful combo in my opinion because there's going to be this balance and this beauty of different corners or exploring different corners of your style because of different elements of different styles that you bring into your look. So let me know in the comments below which one of these must-haves for this season, so for winter 2022, is your absolute loveliest, absolute must-have for you specifically, something that you're wishing for, something that's on your wish list, or something that you absolutely hate and you can't even stand thinking about this thing being the it item for this season. And thumbs up this video if you've liked it, and let me know in the comments below which one of these items were your favorite. And this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!